Alright, gang, welcome back to our Can You Survive 25 challenge here in Zielonka. It is August, and quite a lot of money is rolling into the bank account. As you can see, we've got a healthy bank account right now, and that's only going to continue to grow. Now, as far as the greenhouses we put in the last episode, we filled everything up, we kind of topped everything off. The water transfer distributors, whatever you want to call them, they're actually keeping up with everything, which is actually super surprising. As you can see here, the wood has plenty of water in there, but the main reason why it has not started to chew through that water yet is because we ran out of seeds. So we need to get some seeds up there so we can continue that process. But we're on the way to the farm shop right now. With our fiat for farm number 2, and we're going to pick up a brand new seeder. Why are we picking up a brand new seeder? Well, it's August. That means we can put canola in the ground, which means that new field that we purchased, we can go ahead and put canola in that field and make some canola oil from that next season. As we talked about in the last episode, we made a slight modification to our farm 2. Initially, I was thinking let's just do sunflower oil, but I think we should just do an oil farm in general so we can kind of branch out. So we can do olive oil if we want to, canola oil, sunflower oil, and then there's also like different rice and things we can do, I think. I think we do like long grain rice and short or just regular rice and make those as well so we can make rice oil out of that. So gives us a little bit more options, a little bit more things to play with and do on the series, and I think that's for the best, right? So I don't think there's really a reason for us to restrict the oil production only to sunflowers. I think we might as well branch out and do all of the oils, or whatever oils we want to do, right? Now, there is a big, massive storm happening in Ohio right now, where I'm at. You'll probably be hearing that in the background. Thunder just roared through just now. It's still going. So you're probably hearing that, so I apologize if you do hear that, or if it does come over on the microphone. But, yeah, we're dealing with that, so... Okay, so we've got, which one should we get here? We really, I don't think we need the biggest seed drill right now. We don't really have the biggest fields, right? And the field we're going to be doing the drilling in is relatively a smaller sized field anyway. Let's see, what has this got? It's got 180 horsepower. Okay, so that can do quite a bit, I think. 180 horsepower. I don't want to get one of these because we utilize these so much in so many different other series. This series is going to be going on for so long. I'm kind of okay to buy something else that maybe, prolongs being able to get something else that we might want to get, for later on. I'm okay with that. So, what should we get here? I'm kind of leaning towards this Pottinger, even though it requires slightly more horsepower than our tractor has. I think it will still be able to do it. So we're going to go with this one. I don't think I've ever used this machine. Maybe I have a long, long time ago, but I feel like we haven't. 5 meter width is about as perfect as it could possibly get. I don't think we need anything larger than that. Yeah, this is perfect. So we're going to go with this, $101,500. It's not cheap. It's not cheap by any means. Now, these seeds right here, they're technically for our other farm, for Farm 1. So I can't actually utilize those, which is a bit of a problem. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take a bit of a quick hiatus here. We're going to jump into the JCB. And we're going to head up to the shop, and we're going to move those seeds out and really move them back over here to this farm. So that way I don't have to worry about it anymore. We do have a buying silo on this farm right now. So there's really no reason for us to really have anything up at Farm 1 from the perspective of seeds, fertilizer, water, etc. So let's just get those back here, and then we can throw them in our tree. Oop, watch out, lady. Throw them in our tree production, our tree greenhouse. And that way we don't have to worry about them anymore, right? How's everyone doing today? Hope you're all doing well, man. Things are good, man. Things are good. We've got quite a number at the time of this recording, at least. Quite a number of the one-tile challenges done. We had to do a couple of those early. Crusty was busy this weekend. This should be coming out on a Sunday, as it normally does. So you would have already seen 2 of the ones, but we do have, the time of this recording, I'm recording this on a Wednesday night, we do have 3 episodes of the One Tile Challenge already out for anybody who is a member on the channel to see early if they want to. So yeah, Crustu had, I think his daughter was in town, I think, so you know, he wasn't going to be able to record on our typical Saturday or Sunday time frame whenever we normally would do on the weekend. So we ended up doing 2 recordings on Tuesday, so that's how we got 3 of them out there, which is nice. I don't think we've ever got to that point yet. We've had a couple out for sure, too, but I don't think we've ever had 3 out, so... This series, I'm really happy with where we're going here. I think this series is really going to start to take off. Clearly, as you saw the amount of money we had, it's clearly going to be taking off for a while. Soon enough, we are going to have to start flipping some of these greenhouses back to distributing to our pickle production. There is still plenty in there, but I would suspect in another 2 or 3 episodes, that will no longer be the case. So we are going to have to consider moving that here soon. Please? Please? Okay. There we go. All right, so we'll go put this back over here for now. We will top off the remainder there of that wood production here in the near future at the end of this episode. I'm not going to focus on it right now. We're going to kind of focus on Farm 2, excuse me, right now. All right, so we've got this. We need to buy, because we don't have a buying silo yet. As a matter of fact, you know what? We're going to put a buying silo down. Scratch that. We're gonna put a buying silo down. Now, I'm going to have to drive a little bit further out of the way for this than I normally would, because the actual field we're going to be drilling is over there to the right, and our yard is obviously over here at the very bottom of the map. But that's okay. That's all right. That's the main thing we have to do today anyway, is just, you know, drill that field, right? So... Now, I believe, I'm going to go in here into the bird's eye view here, go into the drone. I believe we already limed this field. We did. It's this field right here. So this is going to be good, man. It might be 4 or 5 passes we have to do, and we will be done with that field. So it's not going to take a terrible amount of time. I do think this will be fine to be able to do it. Most of Zielonka is relatively flat. There are a couple little tiny hills, you know, here and there, but most of it is pretty flat. And honestly... we'll probably be upgrading this tractor at some point in the near future as well, right? It's a great tractor, but, you know, the greenhouses are just going to be, you know, funneling money into our bank account here as we move along, and really, the only thing we are going to be having to use for that Farm 1 is really for Farm 2, right? We can continue to expand Farm 1, and we will do that, but right now, we're just kind of utilizing it as a funnel for funds to kind of build up Farm 2 here and get that one going. And then eventually, we will have to kind of sort out what we're going to do with Farm 3. Lots of ideas about what we're going to do with Farm 3. Haven't fully made my mind up just yet on what we're going to do for Farm 3. I was kind of going back and forth. I think I'm going to do maybe some root crops, beets, onions, maybe the onions, because that's a new crop that we haven't done yet, so maybe some onions. Oh, we do have a buying silo. I completely forgot, man. This is what happens when it's been about 2 weeks since I've done a recording on this series. I know that sounds weird. You probably don't think it's been that long, but, you know, I do some of these ahead of time, and that is the case here, right? So, well, I think I have to unfold it to actually get the seeds, don't I? Maybe? Maybe not. Okay, why are we not letting me put seeds in here? What is going on here? Open cover. That's what I did. Okay, I don't know, that was weird. It was not allowing it to go in there. It's in the same exact hopper, but for some reason it was not allowing it to go in there. That was super weird. I don't know what was going on there. Maybe I just was off the mark. Maybe I rolled off the mark or something. I don't know. Super weird. But anyway, so we're going to head on over here to this field now. We're going to go ahead and get started getting this in the ground here. Like I said, we're going to do straight canola. And from that, we're going to make some canola oil out of it, which I'm excited about. But yeah, hopefully you're all doing well, man. Things are cruising along. Things are good, man. I'm excited to see where we go next with this series. I really am. The reason why, and I think I talked about this in the past, but in case you stumbled across this, we were doing this series for a little while. Then we took a bit of a hiatus. It was quite a while, actually. I think it was like 4 months, maybe 5 months. We're going to take a shortcut here. But it was quite a while. And then I decided to kind of reboot the series to an extent. And basically what we did was we took everything we had and kind of sold everything. And then put the loan back up to the amount we had it at when you were first started the series. All the way back to episode 1, basically. And then just kind of restarted. I just wasn't exactly happy with how things were going there. So I wanted to kind of, change that, if you will. And I actually wanted to add precision farming into this as well. Okay, so it looks like we have... Yeah, we've already bought the stuff for the field, so we don't need to do that. We can go ahead and get started here. Yeah, we're cruising along. It's really not a problem. Maybe a little bit slower than we normally would. Maybe we can go... Well, I don't know. We're getting up there now. Okay, just ignore everything I said. But we're cruising along now. We're getting this canola in the ground here, so this is a good thing. But anyway, back to the series itself. So we took a bit of a hiatus, and then I decided that, I wanted to reboot this because my initial goal when I started it was to actually run it for the entirety of FS25. That's really the goal of this. But I wasn't happy with it. I wasn't, and I've talked about this many times in the past. I know I have. I don't want to run a series if I'm not happy with it. Mostly because I feel like that can be expressed in my voice, right? If I'm not enjoying what I'm doing, I feel like you're going to know that. And I don't ever want that to be the case, right? So I just needed to take a break from the series for a little while and then have a rethink. And then that rethink, I decided, you know what? Let's just kind of not specifically start over, but reboot it in a way where we sell everything that we have and kind of start over. But we have a little bit more funds to play with now when in comparison to what we did at the very beginning, right? Does that make sense? So we lose money, a lot of money in the long run, because we sold stuff for a loss. But overall, it's going to make the series a better watch for most of you because I'm happier with it. I'm enjoying it more, and that's being expressed. At least, hopefully, it's being expressed. And having precision farming on is nice, right? I do like precision farming. I think it brings another layer of difficulty to it. I like that layer of difficulty. A lot of the times, most series, I'm doing most series. Let me make sure that I clearly state that. Most series, I'm doing a hard difficulty, or if nothing else, normal. It's very rare when I do easy difficulty. It has to be a very specific type of series for me to do easy. I normally try to keep every series that I do in a hard or normal at a bare minimum. Just because I like the challenge, and I think easy can sometimes be a little bit too easy. Now, there are certain circumstances, like I said, certain series where easy is 100% what you should be going with, right? It depends on what kind of difficulty you've given yourself for the series, but a series like this is hard. It's going to be hard. We're doing precision farming. It's always going to be hard on this series because of how long it's going to be, right? That's another thing. If we're trying to do a series for a short period of time, we're going to go more along the lines of an easier or normal. If we're doing a series where it's going to last for a very long time, or a competition, as is our one-tile challenge that we're doing, that's going to be hard, obviously. We got to keep that difficulty up. We don't want any kind of easy outs of any sort, because we don't want to finish the series early. We want the series to, the longevity of the series to continue, if that makes sense. I'm rambling here, gang. You're letting me ramble again. You guys know when I start rambling, I'll just keep going. What else can we talk about today? Man, we're getting a really good application mark here. We're getting a really good application mark. We're in that really, like a lime green and even a darker green up here on the other end. So this is good. This is a great field. Now, one other thing we can look at, we don't have a ton of money right now, but one thing we can look at here, because we spent so much money on this, we can look and see, how much are these other fields. 77,000, 85. So we're not quite there. Maybe we can figure out some things to do to get us there, but we're not quite there right now. It would be nice to be able to buy another one of those fields potentially today and just continue our process here. Now, maybe we buy one of these other smaller ones. like that one can be done, right? We'll kind of look at this stuff here after we're done with this field and see. A lot of these probably already have some kind of a crop drilled in them, but there's a couple of them that probably won't, that we could look at. Let's see, how are things doing here? Okay, the greenhouse, the seeds are going. There's still a little bit of liquid fertilizer in here, and there's a little bit of solid fertilizer. We're going to have to top this up today, so we'll do that today. We'll definitely top all of this up and make a little bit of money. We have some wood chips in there we could sell, although wood chips, as we've looked at many times in the past, they're not good to sell right now. I'm pretty sure they are at the very, very, very end of the year, December or even January. I know I've looked at them 1,000 times. I don't think I really need to look at them right now, but... oh, shit. It took me all the way back up at the top again. All right, well, let me get turned around here. We'll scroll down when I get down here to the end. I haven't said this in a while. I'm going to say it now. Those of you that have been around for a long time know this is my gripe. I play on console, and for console, it's not very easy for us to scroll all the way to the bottom to the miscellaneous. I can't imagine... having the ability for us to have another button in the right-hand corner down there or in the very bottom, whatever, that says, you know, favorite this or, you know, pin this, whatever. I can't imagine that is that difficult to put into the game. Yeah, they're not good at all. It's January, technically. It can't be that difficult to pin that. So that way, you know, if I'm heavy on like 5 or 6 different crops or 5 or 6 different production items, whatever it may be, wool, you know, flour, whatever, you know, I could pin those to the very, very top. You know, my favorited area at the very top. So that way I don't have to scroll for a mile to get to stuff like wood chips, for example. It just seems like it would be such a good quality of life improvement to the game. I'm very surprised that it's not even there. I understand on PC it's probably not that big of a deal. I mean, you can probably scroll to the bottom very quickly, but on console, it doesn't really allow you to do that. You've got to hold down the cursor or hold down the D-pad or whatever for... what it feels like an eternity. It feels like whenever I'm putting my birth date in, whenever I'm on a website, I just gotta sit there and scroll that sumbitch until I get to it. That's what it feels like. You know, it feels like that should be something. So, on a super rare occurrence that somebody who is involved with or knows somebody who's involved with Giants is watching this. Give us what we want, man. Give us poor console players the ability to favorite things, man. It cannot be that difficult to put in. I feel like I could write the code for it. I know some code, but I'm no developer. I'm a project manager by day, but you know, I feel like I could do it. I feel like I could go into the code and do it for them. It cannot be that difficult. It really can't. All right, we're almost done here, gang. We just got one more pass, and this is all done. Even though the actual mini-map there shows that it is done, this is it for us here. This thing is a beast, man. Look at this thing. I love this thing, this Pottinger. This is great. This is great. I don't really know which way to go here. I'm trying to line this up for some kind of a thumbnail approach, but I don't really know what's going to be the best way to take one here. I guess maybe like an angle like this, potentially, I guess. It gets most of the actual drill in, it gets a little bit of the tractor in, gets some background in. We'll see. Maybe I don't use it. Maybe we come up with something else. I don't know. Future Z, we'll figure that out. All right, 9 o'clock. We just made a little bit more money. Not much, a tiny bit more money. All right, this field's done. So, before we move on, I'm just going to take a peek here, and we're going to see what we can do here. This looks like it's a canola field already. It is a canola field. So even if we don't buy that today, we can keep an eye on that and maybe buy that later on. That might be beneficial for us to do. This one, oh, it comes with all this stuff up here. Never mind. These are canola fields. Man, look at this. We can just buy one of these fields and just, there it is. Take care of it. It's ready to harvest. What? No way. Oh, that's fantastic. This one, oh, that's spinach. This looked like the same exact color. Spinach and canola looks like the exact same color. But this one is ready to harvest. We need a tiny bit more money. I mean, a couple $100. That's all we need. And we can buy that field. And we can harvest it today. And technically, we could re-drill it today. Well, obviously, we've got a little bit of time here before 10 o'clock hits, before we would even, you know, make any more money. And as you saw, that tree wood production, it needs some more love, right? It needs some more seeds. It really probably needs some more fertilizer in it, which those are not cheap. Those are expensive, right? So, what do we do here? What do we do? This is a tough one. What we could potentially do is we could turn on our pickle production onto selling. There's quite a bit in there that would auto-sell. We have some that have spawned as well. We could do that, or we could just let them spawn in and we could stack them up on the trailer and go and sell them. We could go that approach. That might be the smartest thing for us to do here. In fact, I feel like that is the smartest thing for us to do. Let me look and see what the prices are. I don't think they fluctuate a ton, but they do fluctuate a little bit. Whew, I had a massive sneeze there. Luckily enough, I was able to stop the recording there. That would have been a doozy. All right, so let's see. What are we looking at here? Pickled chili pepper. They're not great, but look at the price there. They don't really fluctuate all that much. I'm almost tempted just to leave these on auto selling, which, like I said, makes that almost obsolete. But All right, what else can we look at? I mean, we really didn't look at any of the other fields. What else do we have? What other options do we have? It's a little bit too pricey, but it is canola, so we can keep an eye on that one as well. Soybeans. This one, 51,000. This would be nice. It's already got the canola in it. So some of these ones that already have the canola in them, you know, not a big deal, I don't think. Like, we can consider buying those later on, right? You know, we can wait till they're a little bit more grown. But this one just, it's kind of calling my name here. It does have tram lines in it, unfortunately. But, you know, it would be a decent amount of money we would get back. I always like to say, when I buy a field, you know, that already had work done to it, whatever I paid for it, I always like to take the amount of money we made from the harvest and remove that from that, and you know, that's really what we ended up paying for the field, since I didn't spend any effort to do this, if that makes sense, right? But we were going to take this and turn it into canola oil, which should make us even more money, which means that this field would be even cheaper. You know what? Here's what we're going to do. I'm not going to sell all of that. I mean, I just think it would be kind of pointless to sell all of that. But let's sell some of these, because, well, one, it'll allow us to buy that field, and two, it should help supply us with the amount of money we need for topping off the tree greenhouse with some more seeds and some more fertilizer, because we do need to do that, right? We do. Now, I did move up the actual time to 5 times. I feel like 3 times is maybe not fast enough for this series. I think 5 times is probably better right now, but we can modify that. It's not that big of a deal. I'm going to wait for a few more to spawn here. I'm going to put these on top. I'm going to try to stack these like we were doing in the past. So we'll sell at least a little bit of these. We're not going to, like I said, we're not going to sell them all. So don't expect all of them to be sold right now, but we're going to sell some of them. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, this just went disastrous real quick. I tried to move them a little bit too quickly there. All right, we made it work. It's not perfect, but we made it work. Let's throw these up here, and I'm going to throw 6 more, and then I think the rest of them we're going to leave there. So whatever we get off of this, plus, well, whatever we get after this, after we buy that field, whatever we get from this is what we're going to put into the wood greenhouse for the time being. Maybe it's enough, maybe it's not enough. I don't know. This thing is very finicky here, isn't it? Very finicky. Alright, let's try this again. Now, I do want to start expanding our greenhouse productions here a little more. I think I mentioned that in the last episode. I want to do some other stuff. Maybe the crickets, maybe some salt. We haven't done that in a bit. But I want to start incorporating some other type of productions. Maybe we do the coffee production, because I don't think I'm going to be incorporating that in my one-tile challenge. And, that's something I had initially thought about doing, but I kind of changed my mind on that. Now, Rusty is doing that coffee production, the coffee greenhouse, I should say. Are they not spawning anymore? There should be more spawning there. Oh yeah, there should be more spawning. Maybe I'm too close. I guess I was. So he's doing it. He doesn't have the actual mill yet for it to make coffee beans. So he's not making a ton of money off it yet, but, soon enough he will be. Soon enough he will be. Alright, let's get these up here. Storm is still going strong, man. I see the lightning in the background here. So where I actually have my recording quarters, or whatever you want to call it, it's in a room that has a window. It's one window. It's basically a room in the house that was kind of meant to be like an office or something like that, potentially, or I guess just a small room. But there's one window, and I could just see it flickering in the background. All right, put the beacons on. Let's just back this up just a little bit, and it's going to jackknife because of the way that it is. All right, where are we taking this to? That's the next question. Where are we taking this? Probably the same place we always do. Farmer's Market. Farmer's Market it is. Which I think is the same place we always do, right? It's not. We're going down here. We're going by our field that we're going to buy. Okay. Let's go do that. Let's go sell these. All right, let's see. What are we going to get here? What are we going to get? It should be an okay amount of money. I would think we're going to get close to 60,000. Okay. Am I going to have to pull these off? I guess I'm going to have to pull these off. That's unfortunate. All right, let me spin around here. Must be a little bit too high up. There's been these issues, and I think it's this trailer that gives us issues with some things, and other things it's fine. I don't know. And I say this trailer is because I'm using this trailer. What? Isn't this where I'm supposed to go? Did I go to the wrong spot? No, that's where it told me to go. What is this? There's a lime station. Why is this not accepting them? Hey? Okay, that is bizarre. I feel like this happened to us a while ago. Didn't it? I'm questioning everything. Questioning life. That's weird. Does anybody else run into that issue here? Trying to sell these pallets here? It literally said to go here, right? It clearly did. I'm just going to double check this again. Farmer's market. Yeah, 3 feet. That's where we're at. Well, I guess we're going to the supermarket here, gang. I guess we're going to our normal location. That is very weird. Huh. I don't know what to do there. Oh, wait a minute. I just saw an apple. Hold on a second. We gotta grab this apple. I'm not literally going out of my way to find them, but if I just stumble across one, I'll get it. We'll get it. Because why not? Man, that storm is still going. Evidently, it's supposed to rain here in Ohio. I'm in southern Ohio. Evidently, it's supposed to rain here for the next, like, 3 days, I guess. A lot of rain. We're going to have some flooding, I think, going on, because it rained a little while ago, like a week ago. So I feel like the Ohio River is going to be super high, and after this, it's going to be flooding the Cincinnati area. All right, we know for a fact this well. Let me take a step back. This should work. We've done this one before, so this should work. This shouldn't be a problem. Yeah, easy. 14,810 bucks. Very nice. We'll take that. So we're gonna run this back, and then we're gonna buy that. Actually, you know what? Let's just pull over to the side right now. Let's buy that field right now before we move on here. Let's buy this field. This is going to be nice, man. We're going to actually get started on the oil production. This is great. Yeah, it leaves us with 24,713, which is a good amount of money, really. That's a good amount of money. We did hit 10 o'clock, too, by the way, so we did make a little bit of money off of that as well. But, yeah, so we're going to head back. I'm going to... Now that I say that, ooh. What are you doing, Byron? What are you doing? What was that? Did you have a stop sign? He just didn't even stop. He just blew right through that stop sign. That guy, I'm telling you. That guy is my arch nemesis, man. Him and Scarlett and Walter. Those three. Man. If you don't know what I'm talking about for whatever reason... Long time ago, FS22, when I first started doing recordings in Farming Simulator, we started making up names for some of the cars. And a lot of those names, almost every one of those names, except for maybe a couple of them, were all named by all of you. Byron was by Northern Farm Sim, who's a friend of the channel. But yeah, man, they were giving me so much grief on Calmlands in FS22 during the 200 horsepower challenge by my friend Crestu, man. They were a pain in the ass. They were such a nuisance. So we started giving them names. Now, they're not as prevalent as they used to be, but clearly Byron's trying to bring that back here in Zielonka. But, yeah, old school Zorch videos. Man, whew. Those guys were dicks. Okay, what are we going to do here? I should have... I kind of screwed that up, didn't I? I should have switched this trailer into not a flatbed trailer anymore. I should have switched it into a regular trailer. You know what? Maybe what we do is maybe we consider buying a secondary trailer, just for moving around, you know, products like seeds and fertilizer, etc. I don't want anything super expensive though. It's got to be cheap, and I think that trailer is relatively cheap that we're utilizing right now. Yeah, it is 3,800. It's going to take a little bit of the money away from you know, what we could do. But that's okay. I don't need the big one. This is plenty. We're only going to be utilizing this on farm 1 anyway. I kind of like design 2, honestly. I like that black colored down there. But we're going to change this. We're going to, you know, try to make it match as we've been doing, right? Okay. No, don't buy another one. Don't buy a second one, Z. Don't need another one. Let's head up to the shop. Let's get that. We will, as I mentioned, move some seeds and fertilizer over here into the wood greenhouse. I'm going to try my best to you know, not go overboard. We don't want to go into the negative here, but I'll probably spend 10 to 12,000-ish on that. Just to kind of, you know, make sure we can keep that wood greenhouse going. We really don't want to lose that process. That makes us so much money. So we need to keep that going. Now that it was back up and running, at least for a little while, I wonder how these are doing. Yeah, they're fine, because a couple of them have like a maxed out amount of water. They're just waiting to transfer it. So that should really be a huge help. Okay, anyway, we're going to get all this going. And then we're going to grab the harvester. Ooh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. We might have to buy a harvester header. We do have to buy a harvester header. Ah. Okay. Shit. Oh, boy. This is turning into a disaster here, isn't it? Okay, so let's do this. Let's, oh, shit. Uh-oh. I screwed up. Royally. Also, I screwed up buying the fertilizer, too. We had fertilizer over there. But that's all right. We're going to use it, so it's not a big deal. We're going to use it eventually. Not a big deal. I screwed up royally there. How are we going to harvest that field right now? Well, I'll tell you what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to not buy the seeds and fertilizer for the wood production. That's the only way we're going to be able to get around this. We need the money. Maybe by the time we're done with the harvest and everything, and you know, another hour or two has gone by, maybe at that point, maybe we'll have enough money from selling of the greenhouses or whatever, right? Maybe we'll have enough money at that point to do so. Or I guess I can go sell some more pickles. I don't necessarily want to do that, but I guess I can go do that too. I feel like we sold enough of those. I'd rather, you know, store those and try to make the extra 100, 150 bucks per pallet off of those. Yeah. I mean, that's what we're going to have to do. We've got no other choice. We're going to have to go that approach. So, yeah. Well, I mean, we know what we got to do, right? I'm gonna try to sneak through here. It should work. It does. Perfect. Well, we know what we got to do. Let's get into the harvester here. We're going to drop the header off and go get the other one. I'm just going to put it right here, which is probably the worst spot to put it in, but I'm going to put it here anyway. All right. I will, well, I guess we'll see you on the field. We're going to get this canola harvested. Do we have a trailer? We do have a trailer over there. Okay, we got a trailer. All right. I'll see you on the field. We'll get that harvested. It honestly probably will all fit in here anyway. It's not that big of a field. All right, that field is all done. We're heading back here, and I forgot. I know that sounds surprising, but like I said, it's been a couple weeks actually since I've done an actual recording on this series. But anyway, you know, it's I forgot that we had this harvester on the unrealistic setting where we have an unrealistic capacity in it, which is great. Not complaining at all, but just kind of forgot about it. Kind of makes the trailer almost obsolete to an extent, so we might make a change to move this back. I don't know. We'll see. It's nice to have, in certain circumstances, really the capacity stuff, I don't really mind too much, the unrealistic versions of those. Just because it does make life a little bit easier. You don't have to sit there and cart things 50,000 times. But, you know, pretty unrealistic, right? So, something to think about, I guess. I'll leave that there for now. And we're going to go ahead and do an autosave, obviously. And then we're going to turn on the oil mill, which is going to be great. A little bit of money for us. Fantastic. And canola oil. Perfect. And we're just going to put it on storing for right now. We're going to see what kind of money we make out for that. Almost 4,000 liters of canola. We'll see how much canola oil we get out of it. It's not going to be much, I don't think. Well, 20 canola to 10 canola oil. So yeah, you're going to basically cut that in half. So you might get 1 pallet of canola oil out of it. And, you know, canola oil, looking at 1 pallet of it, it's going to make decent money, but it's not going to be anything crazy, right? It's not like it's going to all of a sudden make us super rich. And we'll get almost $2,000 out of it, and maybe we'll get $2,000 if we're lucky, if it's, you know, a best time or a best price, if you will. But you know, it's something, right? That's $2,000 less that we pay. Forgot to turn the beacons off. That's $2,000 less that we paid for that field, right? So worked out. All right, so we've got it hit 12 o'clock. Little over $9,529. We're going to spend some of this. We're not going to spend all of it. I'm probably going to spend $7,000 of it. You know, overnight and stuff, we'll make money off of the rest of these, you know, auto selling, so it should be okay that way. Matter of fact, I think I'm going to fill the seeds up to max here. And then the fertilizer we'll just have to be a little bit more careful with. There is liquid fertilizer in the greenhouse production for the wood, so if we do run out of the actual solid fertilizer, it's not that big of a deal. You know, we'll still be able to process because of the liquid. We just won't be making as much, if that makes sense. Yeah, perfect. So this is really going to fill those seeds up. It's going to put it in a much better spot. This is good. This is good. Now, it doesn't really utilize all that much liquid fertilizer or actual solid fertilizer. So we'll spend maybe $2,000-$3,000. I don't know exactly how much that's going to be. We'll try to stop it around that mark, and that way we can have, you know, around $2,000 left, right? $2,000 or $3,000 left, something like that. Got a little close there. All right, we're going to back up. I got way too close. I was actually inside the greenhouse. I was glitching inside of the greenhouse there. Need to get a chainsaw and get rid of some of these trees here too, like that little bush tree there. We need to get rid of that. That's just kind of in the way. Solid fertilizer. That's perfect. That's perfect. That leaves us just shy of $3,000. That'll be plenty. And like I said, overnight, as we move along here, we're going to make money from these greenhouses because they're on auto selling. So we're going to make money. And this will allow it to continue to process pretty well here. Puts it back in the green. Liquid fertilizer, we're not going to probably be continuing that liquid fertilizer unless we have leftover for whatever reason. We're only going to be putting in solid fertilizer in that greenhouse. Solid fertilizer is cheaper, so there's no reason not to just go the solid fertilizer approach. You're not making any more off of it, whether you utilize liquid or solid. So we'll go the cheap route. All right. with that, we'll leave the episode at this point. I hope you enjoyed it, gang. If you did, make sure you smash the like and subscribe button on the case you've yet to do so. They are free to do. They help me out an absolute ton. Thank you to my members. I cannot thank them enough. If you're interested in that, you do get early access to videos like this one, including the competitive one-tile challenge. You also get a members-only series that occurs once a month where we go through different ideas, different challenges. I take your input. I try to incorporate your input as much as I can whenever that challenge comes out to everyone else, right? That's not a member, whenever it actually is released to the public. My second channel's down below, doing playthroughs, Red Dead Redemption, High on Life 2, and the DLC for Dynasty Warriors Origins. Also doing a playthrough of... well, not really. I kind of took a break of it, but I'll just scratch that. Anyway, Discord's down below as well if you want to join that. I share everything on there, and you're able to share anything that you might be producing or working on as well. And, yeah, I think that's it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. See you next time.